Hello out there in YouTube land. It's been a little while, so I thought I would do a video, kind of get back on the horse, and thought I'd do waves, because why not? They're cool. You see a lot of them in tattooing. They're a great background filler. They can be dynamic. They can do all kinds of things. You can just fill up space by just doing rows of water, like wind bars, as long as something interesting happens at the end of it. I'll draw something much better to explain that, but basically what I tend to do is draw the overall shape of your wave. So this is just a wave by itself. I'll draw it around a rock or something in a minute, but this sort of bulbous, you figure it's like a bunch of water that's kind of coming and then filling up and then cresting and breaking down on itself. So it usually forms this nice kind of curve like this. At the front of this, I like to put little sort of fingers. I sort of sketch out what's going to be where. Usually I just kind of, I don't know, you just kind of go with it, and hopefully they'll come out nice. If not, draw another one. This is just it's meant to be fun and practice, and once you practice a bunch and you kind of got it down, then you can make super nice ones that you're like proud of and spend time on. So, but this is just a kind of explanation. So it basically, like most stuff, it's made up of curves. It's all little C curves like this. There's S curves going on. There's semicircles. There's not really straight lines, because you want to give the idea of motion, and straight lines don't generally do that. So then I'm going to go back to my rough here and just sort of pick out the lines I want. So I think it'd look neat to have a little one right here, just starting to crest over. I'm doing these kind of dark so you can see them. And just kind of, whoop, somebody just called. Somebody, curves like this, back, forward, cresting over, coming back. Just kind of let your hand flow. The more your hand flows, the more natural these curves are going to look, and the smoother the curves are going to look, the better. The more like water it's going to be. Water is this amorphous, blobby thing. I mean, if your water is real pointy and sharp and jagged, and that's how you like to do it, awesome, great. It's very subjective. Whatever you think looks cool, you're going to be spending time drawing, and it should be a fun thing, and you should do what you want. Make things how you want them. Even if they don't look how other people like them, who cares, If they want to commission you and make you draw something the way they like it, then awesome. But, charge money for that. So, in the meantime, that's basically the wave overall general formula. So, around like a rock or something, this is just a really basic rock sticking out of the ocean or whatever. I generally like to cap off the bottom because it'd be in water. So, put a nice S-curve across it like this. A couple of them, because there's going to be a rows of water undulating up and down layers, so you want to kind of give that. You want to make water, I think, really three-dimensional and really dynamic, and so off one side, because I imagine water would just be hitting this rock and sort of exploding off the back. So these waves would be bursting around it like this, and again, I'm just drawing real quick, sort of, curves, just sort of where I want them, how I think it looks good. I mean, if I wanted one way up in here, I could do that, but, maybe I don't want to right now. So, in front of this, I'm going to, just to make it interesting, I'll put another little row of waves as if it's crashing down here on something. And this is my basic layout. So, what I'm going to do is come back in here again and just kind of fill out my shapes that I like. Kind of see what's there and see how I think it might look better, or whatever, This line, I think it'd look better just kind of going through the middle of these. I don't really like it when the back lines meet up with the tips. I just don't think it looks as defined, but, this is what I got. This is what I did in this drawing. If I want, I guess I could come up here and bring this a little higher up, retrace this again and just pick out the lines that I like. Come back across here, and also stop the line right here, leave a little gap, and then what this does is it makes it look like there's a transparency, like the water is coming in front of it, but you can still kind of see this rock through the water. But then at the top of the water, where you'd be looking through more of it, you can't really see through that, so you leave an opening, and that creates a transparency, which is one of my favorite effects, making it look like you're seeing through something, which is kind of awesome, because really these are all just lines on a paper, kind of tricking your brain into seeing something. You're just using lines as a visual language to get across an idea, and the idea is, hey, there's this water crashing on this rock over here. So that's what you're trying to do. You're just trying to give the idea that these waves are crashing, and there's all kinds of dynamic action going on back here, and you can shade them and just kind of get into it. Develop your drawing as much as you want, or as little as you want, and have fun. The more you do this, the more practice you get, the more you'll find that you have a style and a certain way of doing them, and there you go. I hope this really helped, or helped a little, and if you have any questions or comments, please stick them in the comments section, and for those of you who've subscribed, again, thank you so much. It's really nice seeing that, and hope this helps. Have a nice day.